Let's talk about it. 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 On the Vera Thomas Show. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited about this show tonight. We're going to be talking about what love looks like. And my guest, Andrea Mitchell, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am just elated that you're here to talk about what love looks like.
Me
So
too.
let me share with our audience a little bit about Andrea. Andrea Mitchell is a dating and self-empowerment coach with a background in psychology. She is the author of How to Get a Guy Worth Keeping, the founder of the Single No More framework, and creator of the dating app GoGetter. Her work is dedicated to empowering people to take control of their own lives and reach their full potential. She does this by helping them master three key areas: self love, self respect, and self confidence. Andrea grew up in New York and lived in Australia for a number of years. She is well traveled and cares deeply about people. She is married with a new baby boy. So congratulations on your baby.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
and what I'd like for you to do is share with our audience a little more about you, what drives you, and what
hmm
caused you to choose this area as your
hmm
purpose and your passion.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here and share this message with everybody. I think it's a message well worth knowing and can help everyone, like we've said, in all areas of their lives. So a little bit about me. Back to the beginning. I grew up in New York happily, and in general, I think I had a really, really good childhood. I was actually very fortunate, and I even from early on, I was always very confident. And as I got older, I kind of started to realize that I was usually the confident one. And then I think there comes a point in our lives when we start to realize, what do we want to do that really makes us happy and what we're really good at? And I used to realize that I was always the one helping my girlfriends in their dating lives. We would sit down and talk about everything. And I always had really good tips for them to, when they were out dating and, how to make sense of who they were meeting and whether they should keep talking to this person or not. And I think at the end of the day, what I was really doing was I was really just helping them understand themselves and what they deserved, and where they should spend their effort and where they shouldn't. And then I actually had a funny story that my mom told me back when. It's actually when my parents divorced. She had met someone, I think, in the post office or something. And I think she had told, I don't remember it, but she told me the story that apparently there was a guy that she knew. And I think I said something like, I went up to him and I said, "Hey, are you willing to date my mom?" or something. So weirdly, I was like, you're joking. So I think the kind of, bringing people together and wanting people to be happy started early on. But you did mention that you wanted me to kind of talk about anything that went on in my childhood. Again, from my perspective, it was fantastic, and I'm so fortunate. But the one thing that I did realize later on is that acceptance was a big thing for me. And that if there's something you're kind of missing, maybe from your parents, unbeknownst to them, because they're obviously doing the best job they can. But I think I was always kind of I struggled with being accepted for who I was. So then therefore I was kind of seeking that in a partner, which I then further realized that, that's not something we really want to, seek from someone else. We really can gain it from ourselves. So it's all part of the journey of awareness and accepting ourselves and realizing how much power we have within ourselves. But yeah, that was definitely an interesting awakening when it came.
That is beautiful that you
Mm.
recognize and can say, I sought out being accepted,
Mm-hmm.
in relationships with
Mm-hmm.
partners and things of that nature because you didn't feel accepted
Mm-hmm.
as a child. Now, can we unpackage that a little bit more?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's twofold. It's there's two reasons, two good reasons to be aware of this. One, it's actually saying this is something that actually you will be very attracted to, and you really want to make sure that your partner um, does bring that to the table, because that's kind of what you really need deep down. You need support, or for me, I really needed acceptance. But at the same time, you want to be careful not to um, seek that praise, or seek it from someone else, because then you're really trying to get outside validation. And in a relationship, it's gonna it might be harsh to say, but it's kind of setting yourself up. You're setting yourself up for failure. We really should be not seeking anything from anyone to fulfill our needs, right? So that's kind of what it was. It was seeking that, maybe the words of affirmation. They're lovely, and it should be something that you get as a gift, but not something that you need from someone, because the minute they take that away, it can change the dynamic of the relationship. So that's where, I know we'll get into it, but it really starts with you, and why self-love and everything is the best starting point, because then you're really bringing that to the relationship.
Yes. And actually, because we're talking about relationships, and that is the main thing today that we're going to be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Before I share this poem, though, I want you to share a little more about your travels and your
Mm.
experiences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for some reason, I always just want to keep going and doing and seeing. I think that's, again, part of the confidence and just wanting to make the most of this life. So I grew up in New York, and then I lived in Australia for a number of years. And then now my husband is Australian. So we love to travel the world together. We've been to Switzerland. We've been to Europe. I actually myself, I did 24 countries in 4 months. I kind of did like a,
What?
yeah, in one stint. I just wanted to get it all out of the way. And I think in a weird way, it was still, because I married quite later, because for me, I guess I didn't want to rush into it. I really wanted to have my adulthood and make the most of it. So these were kind of things that were on my bucket list. Travel was a huge one, and I thought to myself, I was around 32 at the time. I think I was the oldest person in the hostels at that time, but I was I was doing it. But I kind of felt these were the things that I needed to do before I kind of wanted to take that next step in life, which was get married, have a kid, settle down. So I think that's important for people to know, is that, I always said, oh no, I'm ready for the right person anytime. But I think deep down, I really wasn't. I wasn't ready to kind of stop. I was wanting to do what I wanted to do, because I think relationships, and the best ones, do have a level of compromise. So there's nothing wrong with saying, I love travel, and I want to travel the world, and I want to get that off my plate before I take that next step, because you really want to feel like when you get to those next steps, you're ready for it, and that's why you'll be 2 feet in. So
That's
no, but I love it,
beautiful.
and we continue to do that, and it was really important to make sure that I was with someone who loves travel as well, because it is such a passion point. So these are all good criteria to look for, when you're with someone.
That's amazing. And what you said about making sure that he also loved and enjoyed the things that you enjoyed doing
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
so important. One of the questions that I'm dying to ask, out of all your travels, what has been like the your most memorable, or the
Mm,
place that you absolutely loved?
mm. That is really a tough question. I would say, I'm going to say one place, but I'm going to kind of say three. I really liked Iceland, just because it was, the nature was just beautiful. The glaciers that I saw, and the northern lights, that was beautiful. Believe it or not, Fiji is an amazing place, because the people are actually amazing. It's one of the most beautiful, gentle, cultures, and kind people you ever meet. And then I'm going to loop Europe all into one, because it's so old, and everything is so stoic, and walking down a cobble street that's been there for ages is just amazing. So all the cities in Europe I love to visit, just because I feel like it's just so different from the US.
That's amazing. I just had to ask that question.
I could talk, just like love, I could talk about travel all day long too.
But now we're going to start talking about
Yeah,
love.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
prior to us talking about it, I had shared when we first met
Hmm.
before you came on my show. I had
Hmm.
shared this poem with you because of the work that you do.
Hmm.
And you liked it so well that I think I'm going to share it again.
Absolutely.
And as we
I love
get
you.
into, thank you, as we get into the whole topic of
Hmm.
relationships.
Hmm.
So, after, oh, I want this come up. Okay. After a divorce or end of a relationship, make sure for the future you are fully equipped by taking time for self. Put the thought of jumping into something serious on the back shelf. Get to know who you are all over again. Learn to be your best friend and to love yourself and be your best friend. What is it that's important to see? What are my values, must haves, and beliefs? What part did I play in the demise? What
Mm.
lessons must I learn to make me wise? How did I handle my partner's behavior and mine? Was it hurtful or kind? I must accept my contributions. I must accept the reality and not my illusion. Recognize the mistakes of the past to move forward, not too slow, not too fast. Who am I? What do I want in life? More
Mm.
peace, prosperity, less strife. Faith in the relationship with my higher power begins the new journey this present hour. Peace will come when my faith is realized. Prosperity in my pocket, my soul, and my mind.
It's amazing. It's absolutely an amazing piece of literature because it encompasses so much. I mean, you touch on self, you touch on accountability, you touch on being your best friend, you touch on being aware of your role, you touch on values, you touch on the speed at which you're going. Like all that plays into it. And that's why relationships are so complicated, not complicated, but just they are difficult. And
Oh no.
because you're not only self, you're also then learning about the other person. So yeah, that's where it I love what your poem touches on because it really touches on everything, and it actually touches on the complexity of everything that needs to be working and working well for a good relationship. If any one of those fall out, it's like losing a big pillar, and so you just need to focus and build it back on. But that's what we do with knowledge. We just recognize what needs to be fixed and we go in there and we fix it. Relationships aren't perfect because people aren't perfect. I have a lovely saying where I say the most complicated thing you'll ever come across is another human being. So
Yes. Yes. So let's talk about before
hmm,
jumping into a relationship, because
yeah,
you have three pillars.
yeah,
And those three pillars are self love, self
hmm,
respect, and self confidence.
hmm,
All
hmm,
right. So, in order to deal with a relationship,
yeah,
what does love look like? Let's talk about that. What does love
yeah,
look like from your perspective, and how does it begin?
yeah. Love, love in general is a feeling, and I think we all deep down know. I hope we know, what we deserve, and because it's how we want to feel, and we want to feel happy. The minute those things are off, we're going to get an indication. Our emotions are going to tell us something's off here, and the main thing is you just got to pay attention to that and listen to it, and work through it. I definitely think that before anyone steps into a relationship, or if you've come out of a relationship, you really need to be ideally in the best place possible. It doesn't have to say that everything has to be perfect in your life. You don't have to be making a ton of money or have everything set. The most important thing is to be set in your mind about, you know, that you're happy with yourself, and that that offering yourself and your time and your love to someone is the most important thing you could ever offer someone. And anyone that receives that needs to be deserving and appreciate it. So I like to think, I like to go self-love first, because it's really just really making sure, I mean, I could go in really depth, but really simply, self-love is just really being aware of that you really love and respect love yourself for who you are. And then once you have that, if you're feeling really good about how about that, then you move on to self-respect. And self-respect is very much just trusting how you're willing to be treated. And it's the same thing of by treating yourself with self-love, that's respecting yourself. And therefore, if you protect that, you don't want anyone else to come in and mess with that, right? Like, you've done all this hard work. You're not going to let someone come in and treat you differently. So it sets the stage of, as long as you're treating yourself with respect, you're only going to seek people who do the same. And then self-confidence is that third step where it's like, okay, I love who I am. I'm going to bring this out into the world, and having that confidence that you can, and you're going to hold on to that. And you're always going to make sure that you're number one in terms of, you need to have those really solid. And that's where you have that self-confidence to bring it into the world and start that dating and start essentially, seeing if other people are a good fit for your life. That's really what it comes down to. You really only want to be with someone who's going to complement your life, not take away from your life.
Amen. So let's give our audience some keys to
Mm-hmm.
gaining that self love and that
Mm-hmm.
self respect.
Mm-hmm.
Because even scripture says, love thy neighbor
Right.
as thyself.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we're looking for love, and we're looking for people to give us what it is we
Mm-hmm.
feel we
Mm-hmm.
need when we're not
Mm-hmm.
giving it to ourselves.
Exactly.
So, if you would kind of share with us, what does self love look like? And
Yeah.
what are
Mm-hmm.
some keys that we can give? And now, let me say, she does have a book, and that book is How to Get a Guy Worth Keeping. But how to get a guy worth keeping first starts with your own self love. Am I
Mm-hmm.
correct or wrong?
No, you are absolutely correct. I actually opened up the book, and there's with a statement that says, a good woman will inspire a good man.
Ooh, I love
Yeah.
that. As a matter of fact, let me put that in the chat. A, a, a good woman.
Will inspire a good man. Yeah. So it's really reiterating that it all starts with you. It starts with how you view yourself, and we've always heard the comment about, people will treat you how you let them. So as long
Yes.
as, and the way I see it too, like, men are very moldable. They want to make a woman happy, but you need to be that muse for them to kind of like be better for, and they want to be the right man will want to be. you know it's not about changing yourself, and you're not changing them either. It's just, when you bring each other together, what does that form? But back to your point about the self-love, I know a lot of people think self-love and they go, oh, I'm going to go have a spa day, or I'm going to go have a massage or something like that. And that's lovely. That's all part of looking after yourself. But I think sometimes what gets missed is what we say to ourselves. It's how we treat ourselves day in and day out, and what we believe about ourselves. So it's really about saying, what is my self-talk saying? If something happens that I am unhappy about, am I hard on myself, or am I gentle with myself? Do I forgive myself, or do I hold myself to a high standard? It really, really comes down to, you know, do you actually truly believe that you have something to offer someone? Do you sit there and think, oh, I hope somebody really likes me? Or are you thinking, man, anyone who gets me is going to be the luckiest guy on the planet? It's a totally different level of how you view yourself, and,
Yes.
and you know,
Yes. Now, I want to read, you said, do you believe you have something? And what
to
was the rest?
offer, to
To
offer.
offer. Okay. And,
Yeah.
that is so key. That is so key, because so oftentimes, like I said, we're looking outside
Mm-hmm.
ourselves to
Mm-hmm.
get and feel that self worth. And you
Mm-hmm.
also, I mean, Dr. Phil said, we teach people how to treat us. We
Exactly.
teach ourselves how to treat us. When we're not treating ourselves well, how can we
Right.
expect other people to
Right.
treat us well?
Right. Right. And I was reading the other day, or I always look at parenting stuff as well, and I've read stuff where you know it's it is, again, it's still, a lot of it comes back to that upbringing, and just naturally we're sought to seek praise. Hey mommy, did I do a good job? Hey mommy, do you like this? And once we get their approval, then we feel better. But the whole idea is we need to realize and be proud of ourselves for everything we've done. We need to back ourselves, and we need to say, I'm an amazing, accomplished human being that can do anything I want, and I deserve someone that treats me well.
Yes.
It's just as simple as that. But we're not really taught that. We're not taught to really reflect and realize that the most important thing that matters is how we view ourselves. And once we start from there, that's going to then, in turn, you know, show who will be attracted to us, but at the same time, who we're going to be attracted to. So it plays both ways.
Absolutely. So let
Mm.
me ask you, I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I want you to share with our audience how to best deal with it where a
Absolutely.
relationship is concerned.
Yeah.
Let's say that I am madly in love with
Mm-hmm.
someone who is toxic
Mm-hmm.
and who is not giving me what I need, but I love them. So, what can I do?
Mm.
One, because I can't change anybody. I can't make
Right.
anybody
Right.
be what I want them to be. But the
Sure.
heart wants what the heart wants.
Right.
So,
Right.
and I'm playing devil's advocate here. So,
Mm-hmm.
how can
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
either get past being wanting, needing,
Mm-hmm.
desiring
Mm-hmm.
someone that's not the best person for me? What do I
Right.
do? What do I do?
Right.
Tell
And
me, Andrea, what do I do?
yeah. No, no, no talk.
Oh, you're breaking up. Okay. I think I'm losing her. And that was a good question to ask. And I tell you what, we're going to go to a commercial and come back. So
Our
let
lives.
me. You know what? I lost you. You
Okay.
broke. We lost everything. I was getting ready to go to a commercial, but now that you're back, please respond to that question.
Okay. Okay, absolutely. I said, yeah, the toxic relationships can be really, really tricky because you do have a lot of love. And I'm sure there are a lot of things that you do love about that person, and they're fulfilling some of those needs. That's why you're feeling that love. But it's amazing that people have the awareness to say, but they're not good for me. So it's kind of like, why, you have to come back to why would I do anything in my life that's not good for me? It kind of makes it feel like it's more of like a short-term um, craving fill, rather than seeking long-term enjoyment. And our mental health and our physical health, those are our most precious assets. So we need to protect those. And I count relationship part of that. Um, yeah, it's such a tricky one where it at the end of the day, it is a choice, right? So we can choose the donut, or we can choose the omelet, right? Or something like that. It's a choice, and you know what the consequences are going to be. And the best part about being
Uh, you're. Oh my goodness.
life that's good, that's bad for
You
me.
you know what? You're
Yep, are you
breaking
here?
up, and yes,
Oh,
but you're breaking up, so we lost half of what you said. Let's try this. I'm going
okay.
to
Where
play
did
a
I
commercial.
leave? Okay.
You
Okay.
you can you hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Yep. Yep. I can hear you.
Okay. The last
Yep.
thing you said,
Yep.
the last thing you said was that you were talking about being, oh God, I just had a brain fart. The last thing that what was the last thing that you thought you said in terms of um, the toxic relationship and
Yeah.
how?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I guess I really want to reiterate to people that it is really hard to leave something or someone that you're really in love with because they are fulfilling a certain amount of needs and making you happy in some capacity. Just remember that there will always be some hurt initially, but what you're doing is you're actually making a better decision for the long run. And it will be better. And it's hard to see the other side when you're not there, but there is the only way to get to the other side is to come out of, the toxicity that you're in. You can't really see it when you're in it. You just have to trust and be aware that the fact that you're saying this isn't good for me, you have to protect yourself and choose yourself and remove yourself and realize that in your next relationship, you can have all the things that you did love about this person, but you also get the better stuff. And you're also removing the negativity. People underestimate how much negativity weighs on you and hurts you and, strips you of your well-being. So it's really important to see the value in removing the negativity, and therefore you can then be open to something more positive.
Sometimes that's really hard.
Mm,
I know of of people that stayed in marriages that were
hmm
so toxic and ended up getting sick
mm,
behind,
absolutely, yeah.
not because of the toxicity, but it
hmm
fueled the
hmm
sickness,
hmm
but fear has a lot to do with
Absolutely.
sticking in relationships. So how
hmm
do we get past the fear? That's the question, but I'm going to do a
Okay.
commercial and then
Okay.
we'll come back. And the question is, how do we get past the fear
hmm
of either being alone or being without that person and moving on? How do we get
hmm
past that? But
Okay.
share that information when we come back.
Been feeling myself for a minute. Hallelujah. Amen.
Hey there, Jason McNamara here, and I'm about to drop something truly game changing your way. Are you tired of the same old 9 to 5 grind? Feeling stuck in obtaining the life you deserve and craving something more? Well, listen up, because I've got something you will not want to miss. Introducing the No More 9 to 5 Club Professional Membership, your ticket to freedom and success in the entrepreneurial world. With our professional membership, you'll get access to weekly coaching sessions, pre-recorded trainings, and a vibrant community of fellow game changers. You get access to technology that will allow you to automate passive income streams, as well as unlock all of our expert-led trainings in the back office so you know where to go for good advice when you need it. You will also use the club to build up a residual income stream with a 2-tier 33% affiliate commission unlocked at this level, allowing you to help people help themselves while generating a residual passive income stream for yourself. And here's the kicker. For a limited time, you can unlock all of this just for a $1.11 donation to our club foundation.
I like this one.
Your first month is on us. So what's holding you back? Click the link below, make your donation, and let's start building the life and business of your dreams together. Here at the No More 9 to 5 Club, we're all about turning dreams into reality and smashing through those glass ceilings.
That's what I'm talking about, Jake.
Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, we've got the tools and support you need to thrive and evolve. And don't forget to sign up for our bootcamp training. It's the perfect way to kickstart your journey and unlock even more perks. So what are you waiting for? Join the No More 9 to 5 Club today and let's make those dreams a reality. I can't wait to see you on the inside. You only get one now. Invest it in your better future. Let's make magic happen together.
That was a word from my sponsors, No More 9 to 5. Let me tell you about this group. It is a mastermind. It is so much more. It's a networking opportunity. It's an opportunity to look at residual income. If you are a 9 to 5er and you want to explore other options in addition to working a 9 to 5, then you want to join this organization and see what other options might be available to you in addition to your 9 to 5 or as an option for your 9 to 5. Great networking, Great masterminding, great training, and you can join for $1.11. Yes, $1.11. And that money goes to help support veterans, which is one of the hallmarks of this organization, is to help veterans to overcome. So, no more 9 to 5. Check us out. The link is below here, and I've also put it in the comments. So, check out No More 9 to 5. And let me do one other commercial.
Mama Knows creates high quality products that are available to be used on multiple textures of hair. Her goal is to bridge the gap to stop people from having to use multiple products because of families with multiple hair types. Her products are currently being used on men, women, children of all ethnicities. Mama Knows products are available at www.mamaknowsproducts.com. That's www.mamaknowsproducts.com. You can also find her on Instagram at Mama Knows Products because, you know, Mama knows what you need.
Let me tell you about these products. They are amazing and they're for all ethnicities. Shampoo, conditioners, hair serums, moisturizers, whatever you need for your hair, Mama Knows has it. Why do you want to contact Mama Knows products? Because Mama knows what you need. So check out Mama Knows products at mamaknowsproducts.com. All right. Now back to our question that I asked.
Mm-hmm.
And let me take this banner down. Now, tell me the answer
Mm-hmm. To the
to
question.
the question.
The question is, as you said, yeah, it was nice to actually have some time to think about it. But you were saying it was, how do you conquer the fear? Fear keeps us still. Fear keeps us stuck, and we don't want to be stuck, especially when it comes to living our best life and love. Simply put, courage. Courage. There's a quote that says, "Courage is feeling the fear, but doing it anyway." So
Yes.
I think people need to realize is that it will be hard. No one is saying that it won't be hard. So recognize that it's going to feel really crappy, and it's going to be very hard to leave a relationship where there is definitely some level of comfort there. But if you have the awareness that this person is bad for you, just trust and take a leap of faith that you will do better. There, people, like I was saying before, people underestimate the impact that negativity can have on their life, for their mental health, for their physical health. Like we just said, people can get sick, but you need to trust. You need to trust that the things that you're feeling in that relationship that you are enjoying, when you bring it back, when you leave and you bring it back to that self-love, you can provide all those things for yourself. You can get them from yourself. So once you realize, wow, I didn't need that from this person, I can give it to myself. And then I have this awareness of, I can find someone who loves me and treats me, and we can build and create a life together and have positivity together. It will only open you up if you can leave that to open yourself to the new thing. So it's literally just accepting that it's going to be hard and having faith that you can find better. I mean, but you'll know more at that time. And you, otherwise, if you stay stuck, you won't learn, and you'll be stuck. And we can't do anything if we're stuck.
That's true. That's true. So I'm going to bring up this book,
Mm-hmm.
and you says how to get a guy worth keeping.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So what I really like to focus on, and who I work with are people who really are looking for something more. They're basically tired of relationships that aren't working out, relationships that aren't good for them, casual hookups. They're really looking for a partner that they can really invest into, and they are also then respected back and treated with love, kindness, and affection and respect, pretty much the love that they want and they know they deserve, the fairy tale love, right? So this book is really about kind of hitting all levels of how to start with yourself and make sure that we were going through that self-love, self-respect, self-confidence. But then once you have that down, then what do you do? How do you bring that into the real world? How do you show up as your best person? And how do you also filter, and how do you evaluate potential suitors? Like there's many steps to the process, and you need to maintain that. As long as you have that level of self-love, self-respect, and self-confidence, you're going to be impenetrable, and you're going to attract the right people, and you're going to be able to see through the people who are going to give you, the lines and the charm and all that, and basically the dead end people, right? So like I said, I really like to focus on people who really want a long-lasting, fulfilling relationship for themselves and for the rest of their lives. I can't think of anybody who says, I want a new person every month. People want to build something with someone. It's an amazing feeling, and you can only get there if you take the right steps.
Can you give an example? I know we want people to get the book. Let me pull it back up again. We want people to get the book. However, can you give me a couple of things that people might want to do in trying to get a guy worth keeping? After we've gone into the self-love, the self-assessment, the self-awareness of what we want and what we don't want, the boundaries that we're setting, and all of those things. So what are some key points to how to get a guy worth keeping?
Yeah, it's like you said, number one, it's going to come back to you. And then once you really have a good foundation of who you are, and being happy in yourself, it's going to be what we spoke about earlier. It's going to be looking for those values with somebody who aligns with what you believe in. Now, you have to be strong in yourself, because you have to almost oversee, maybe the looks, and you need to look deeper, and you need to be willing to say no to people who don't meet the things that you want. They might be really good looking, but if they don't meet those values that are really important to you, it's going to break down eventually. There's also a lot of tricks with how to date, right? So where do I find these people? Are they online? Are they down the street? What do I need to do? Do I need to move cities? No, you don't have to do all those things. And I think what's worth realizing is that once you kind of get in the right headspace about who to look for and what's good for you, it's almost like a whole new pool of people are going to open up. You're going to see people that you weren't looking at before. You're going to start seeing a lot more guys pop up that are really good options for you that you didn't see before. So, it's all about how to keep an open mind, how to do online dating, because it is actually a trick. You need to kind of see it for what it is, which is basically just, it's an avenue to meet people. And then once you meet them, then you need to evaluate and meet them up in person and see if there's that chemistry, which is basically just seeing if you're comfortable. So I think I see a lot of people put a lot of importance on, oh, this dating app is going to, tell me whether this is my husband. No, the dating app is going to introduce you to your potential husband. You will decide that once you meet up with them. So there's all these different levels of maintaining that, self-respect throughout to carry it through the whole process, and then it's going to set yourself up for hopefully a really good relationship.
Now, I put up on the screen www.gogetterdating.com, which is the app that you founded.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
So talk about this app, how it works, and what successes have you had?
Absolutely. So I created this dating app because back when I was looking for someone, my number one deal breaker was that I wanted to be with someone who lived an active lifestyle. And if they didn't live an active lifestyle, I just didn't even want to consider them. I knew we weren't going to be a good match, but there was no dating app out there that was really, niched down to that criteria. So I decided to just create it myself. And it's really, just like, people meet on faith, or people meet on, having the same meal choices, or pet lovers, things like that. whether you share the same opinion about exercise and activity is actually one of the really key life values that form the foundations of a lasting relationship. This is done by a lady called Dr. Terry Orbach, and she's studied for like almost over 300 couples over 40 years. It's a really amazing study that she's doing. But it's basically saying that, you know, if you share this value with the person you want to be with, it will definitely form the foundations of a lasting relationship. So I created it. And then I guess one of the success stories, funny enough, is me and my husband. We met working out on the beach. When we do our holidays, we ski together, we swim together, we run together, we did an Ironman together. You know, it keeps us, it's a part of us, right? You know, exercise is something that is a part of you. So we want to have someone who shares that opinion. I also had another lady early on jump on a dating app, and in the early days, and she ended up dating him for 3 years, and she was so thankful, because I was actually someone who had to, you know, convince her to go onto the app because she was quite nervous. But it was amazing that by her doing that, she ended up dating someone for almost 3 years. And it still comes back to the point of, you know, you got to get out there. You got to put yourself out there. That's how people can find you. You need to be seen. So it's a really, really nice way to kind of bring people together who are just ready to meet someone, and they can kind of do it in their own time. So obviously I can certainly work with people one-on-one, but this is a great way to just go on and see who you meet, and, you know, you share the same interests. It should be an easy conversation starter.
So listen, you want to, if you are looking for love and you're looking for someone that is compatible with you, go to www.gogetterdating.com. This is an app that Andrea created for people who are looking for other people who are active, physically involved in things. If you are that type of person and that is the type of person you're looking for, then go to www.gogetterdating.com. And I am just, what you're doing to help people better recognize what they're looking for by first better understanding who they are themselves, that self-love, self-respect, and self-confidence. If you've got those things going for you, then you're going to attract the type of person that's best for you, because you're going to attract someone that's like-minded, who loves themselves and has confidence in their abilities, and is wanting to be in a relationship that's going to further the two of you together.
Definitely. Yeah, you want someone who's going to enhance your life, and not, you know, and that's why it's like we don't want to seek people who are going to, you know, and there's a lovely, beautiful saying they complete me, and it's a beautiful thing to think that someone does, but figuratively, we definitely don't want to be following that. There's no one that completes you. You're amazing and beautiful and whole as you are, and then basically you get the chance to share your life with someone. And yeah, it's really funny that I guess a lot of this realization about how much I played a role in whether a relationship was going to succeed or not was because, you know, that was my journey. My journey was, you know, I dated my husband for 2 years, and I pretty much was, even after 2 years, I was sure he wasn't the one. You know, it was I pretty much was like, we're done. It's over. It's been 2 years. You know, we're not going to, you know, it's not going to happen. But then I had to kind of take a moment and think to myself, what do I really want and what is really important to me? And I realized that I had the perfect guy sitting right in front of me. But because I was overthinking it, because he wasn't, you know, doing all these little things or saying, you know, hey, beautiful, every morning, you know, I was going to throw this guy away. And it was so silly. I was paying attention to the wrong things. But the minute I started paying attention to the right things that matter for a long-term, you know, partnership, I was like, oh my gosh, you're great. You're perfect. Let's do this. And then all of a sudden our relationship just took a whole new trajectory. And we, you know, shortly after got married and had a baby. And, you know, again, this was someone that I was going to, you know, pass up on.
Okay, let's talk about this. Because so often we have these ideas of what it is that we think we want.
Totally.
So my question to you is, what was it that was making you feel like he wasn't the right person?
I think it still came back to that seeking that validation, seeking that that praise, that to the certain level that I wanted him to have. Maybe I wanted someone a little bit more outgoing and really showy, and that whole A type, and that type. But I think that's just what those things aren't important. When it comes down to a relationship, it's, do they love you? Are they there for you? Do they support you? Are they loyal to you? Do they want to be with you? Right? Like, a lot of women chase men who don't even want to be with them, or aren't showing them the right commitment things. And I'm like, oh my goodness, why are you spending so much energy and time on someone who isn't reciprocating? Like, it's not about the chase, right? If anything, the chase is, from their side, which I go
Thank
into in the
you.
book. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Because so often we're out there looking, and even scripture says, happy is the man that findeth.
There you go.
It's
Exactly.
like,
Yep.
who are we to be out there and even though I've had people say, well, how am I going to find someone if I'm not out there approaching? Well, let's talk about that. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think you and I are on the same page. I believe that men take enjoyment in the chase, in terms of, seeking the woman. And that's why the best thing, it makes our job very easy, because we want to feel, chosen, and they want to choose, they want to chase. So it actually is a really symbiotic relationship. I was always a big fan and had no problem going up to people in bars. But at the same time, and so I'll kind of say I agree with both. I'd say, if you spot someone that you like and you think's cute, I'd say go up to them and just strike up a conversation. But at some point, you just need to you're giving them the indication that you're open, you're sociable, you're happy, you're conversational, you're fun, you're a lovely person and someone worth knowing. And it's up to them to take it from there. So at that point, you kind of stop the pursuing, I guess. And then at that point, you show who you are, and you wake them up, per se, and say, hello, I'm here. And you let them pursue you. And that's actually, I think, a good start to it.
Yes, I agree with you. I've got another commercial to play, and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
Let me introduce you to ChatBridge. It's a revolutionary new solution for getting great results from your online networking. Today, online networking has become the standard for millions of professionals. However, getting results from your meetings can be a daunting task. But now that challenge has been solved. Everyone knows how hard virtual meeting follow-up is. You go to an online meeting where at the end, people say save the chat to follow up. And now you have a nearly unusable and ugly chat text file to work with. You can now say goodbye to the hassles of downloaded Zoom-type chat records. For the first time, with the introduction of this new ChatBridge tool, you have a simple system to easily import, search, review, follow up, and find opportunities with the people you meet in all of your virtual networking meetings. And we also made it easy to archive all of your chat files and information on the people you met networking for future use. And it doesn't stop there. With ChatBridge, when you select people to follow up with, you can view their exact posts and even click into their website, LinkedIn profile, or Facebook page if they shared it. Then you can import your selected contacts into the powerful EngagePro system, or export your contacts to your CRM, email tool, or autoresponder. Following up and getting great results from online networking is now easy and just a click away. Experience the power of the new ChatBridge, and you'll quickly see how to find new clients, get more referrals, speaking opportunities, and JV partners. There's nothing like it. Find out now how economical and easy it is to get the results you want from online networking at chatbridgeconnect.com.
Well, instead of going to chatbridgeconnect.com, take a free test run with the link that I have put in the comments. Let me tell you, ChatBridge, if you go to a lot of networking meetings, if you save your Zoom chats and you go back to those folders and you see all that confusion with ChatBridge, I'm telling you, one click and that chat is organized. It's organized in alphabetical order. It's organized with the contact information, the phone numbers, and the conversation that went on during the course of the chat. So if you use Zoom a lot and if you go to networking a lot, then you want to check out ChatBridge. And again, I put the link in the comments for you to do a free test run. Check it out. I'm telling you, it's well worth your time to save you time because it is a game changer. All right. Now back to our conversation. Now, okay, I have a couple more commercials to do, but I want to, well, you know what, let me run those and then we can just not be interrupted anymore. All right?
That's good.
I'll be right back.
You amazing souls. I see that you have a lot of questions, and I understand. And all this is about the upcoming mental health conference right here in New York City on the 24th and 25th of April. I understand more than anyone else, attending an in-person conference is very overwhelming. And you may have a lot of concerns about the audience and selling your products and the value of your talk. However, I want to assure you that as a speaker, your voice and experiences have immense value. Your journey, struggles, and the person you have become are incredibly powerful, and by sharing your story on stage, you're offering something unique and impactful. Remember that you are not just selling a product or service, but rather sharing a part of yourself that can inspire and make a difference in the lives of those who listen. As for attendees, please believe in the influence you have cultivated through your followers. New York City is a vibrant hub of energy, and I have no doubt that many of your amazing followers will be eager to hear you speak and meet you in person, as well as experience the incredible energy you have to share. Your presence alone will be a magnet for those who resonate with your message. You see, I speak from experience when I say that this conference is an opportunity for you to make a significant impact. Your trauma talk is a vision that has been brewing for a while. Now it is a reality. See that? I want to encourage you now to click that link and help me to make a difference right now. All you need to do is take the first step and invest in yourself and register, and Ra will meet you in person in New York City, where we can connect and share more powerful energy. This is Ra, and I love you all.
Listen, if you have a story, if you've been through trauma and you've gotten through it, it's because it is meant for you to share your story, to help other people get past their trauma and also recognize that they are not alone. So check out the link and go through the registration to look at what it all involves in New York City in June. And let me tell you, it's going to be on Broadway. Yes, the venue is on Broadway. And so check out Your Trauma Talks and click the link that's in the chat. All right. One more and then
Get ready for an extraordinary weekend from May 9th to the 12th in Miami, Florida, where minds, bodies, and souls converge. Calling all entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals, and aspiring visionaries from across the nation. You're invited to the Global Awaken Trinity Summit. Join us for an immersive experience where you'll learn from the best of the best speakers in the industry and hang out with the brainiest minds in business. Network with experts from finance, personal development, branding and marketing, and many other niches. All states are welcome. Indulge in gala VIP dinner and pick the minds of speakers and mentors over a drink. Elevate your journey with mastermind sessions aboard a yacht in Miami, Florida. Don't forget to register. Let's see you there. Mark your calendars and be part of this transformative event. Visit www.globalawakenedevents.com for more information and secure your spot today. For tickets, call 404-992-3971.
Actually, just go to the link in the chat. If you are a speaker and you want more exposure, you want to be on the platform with other renowned speakers and entrepreneurs and people that are changing lives, then you want to check out Global Awakening events. You might want to consider being a speaker. The event information is in the chat, or you may just want to attend. Imagine on a yacht speaking to hundreds of people. You might want to check it out. So the link is in the chat. All right. All right. Now back to our conversation. And I'm putting your information. You can reach Andrea either through her email, Andrea at howtodate.com, or you can go to her website, www.howtodate.com, and she has some free stuff on her website. You want to kind of talk about those free things? And
Yeah, absolutely. So through that website, you can the dating app you can get from there, and that's free to join. I also offer a free masterclass, which in which I talk about essentially the 6 secrets to finding the man of your dreams, or if it's partners or anything like that. So don't waste any time. Just jump on there, get the free masterclass, and I'll give you some secret tips how to find the one. So that way, pretty much everything we've been talking about.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I am going to just give you the floor and
Okay.
let you share to your heart's content. And if you want us to talk about things as you're sharing, we can do that too. But it's up
totally.
to you.
Absolutely. So, I'm been so grateful. Thank you so much for having me on the show and helping me spread this message. I think, everything that we're doing is to create, happy, healthy people, which create happy, healthy couples, which create happy, healthy families. And it all starts from you and from the person. So I think I just, want to reiterate how important it is. And people might not be aware that, relationships are so important in our lives. But the trajectory of that relationship, everything starts from the beginning. So, for example, if you let someone mistreat you or walk all over you, or they treat you with anything less than the admiration and respect that you deserve, that sets the stage for the entire relationship. So in a lot of ways, I really think it's worth putting the hard work up front and doing your due diligence early on to then feel like you've, found the right person, because that's going to just, save you a whole bunch of time and energy, and you're going to get the benefits back twofold, down the road. So think of it as it's not, you're doing hard work now, but it's so that way you can kind of take your foot off the pedal and enjoy your relationship from that moment on. Because any person who's gonna, it's much harder to act a certain way and then try to change that during the relationship. But if you mandate that from the upfront, that's what they expect, and that's how they will treat you. So it's I just think that's something worth keeping in the back of the mind when people get really, overwhelmed by the process. But it just shows how it's really important, and you're doing everything up front, and it's worth it.
And the upfront stuff includes getting to know who you are.
Absolutely.
Before jumping in, if you're ending a relationship, before jumping into another relationship, assess that relationship. What were the things that were right about that relationship?
Yeah.
What were the things that needed work on those relationships? What were the things about me that I need to look at, assess, and maybe turn some things around? And also you made some valid points about if you are being mistreated verbally, mentally, emotionally, physically, any of that, because verbal abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. And don't settle for it. You are better than that.
Yeah.
And you deserve better than that. All right. So we have ran out of time. Andrea, this has been awesome. Thank you so
Mhm.
much for being my
Thank you.
guest. And this will be replayed over and over again, as well as on 21 different
Hmm.
podcast platforms. So people are going to
Hmm.
get this message.
I love it.
So,
I love it. Thank you so
so
much.
thank you. And do you have any other final words before we say goodbye?
No, I hope to see everyone in my masterclass. And if you have any, if any of this resonates with you, I'd love to touch base and reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you.
So go to www.howtodate.com. You'll be able to reach her. You'll be able to get on her date dating app. You'll be able to join her free mastermind
Masterclass.
and
Yep.
your
Hmm.
masterclass, and
Yep.
she's got some free items to give you as well.
Yep.
So check it out. Thank you again for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank my listening audience, those who have watched live and those who will be watching. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And also, if you're interested in supporting me, you can do so by going to Instilling Great, $Instilling Great on Cash App and or Venmo at VT1117 or Zelle, the Vera Thomas Show, 1117 at gmail.com. All right. God bless you. And Andrea, if you will hold on, we will be right back. Okay.
Sounds
So
good.
thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week.
The